Today we have a young lady who I first got to know through Lynn, and she has published a book at the young age of 14, Ravina Thakkar. Ravina, tell us about yourself.
Well, like you said, I'm 14, but the book actually got published when I was 13. And it's all because of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, really. I got in contact with them about 4 years back or something, and that's all because I have a genetic disorder. And it's a terminal disease, and it affects the way I breathe. My lungs have mucus plugs all over, and it's harder for me to do things like running and anything that a normal person would do without even thinking about it.
Right. But, so, you know, I think because we are creative people, we don't have to be normal.
Yeah.
Tell us, what prompted you to write this book, The Adventure of a Lifetime?
I was 8 when I wrote it, so
wow.
Nothing really prompted me per se, because I just sat down one day and I just said, hey, I'll start a book. And I've always wanted to write a really long story, like a chapter book, because those are just huge, you know?
Yeah.
And so I just tried to challenge myself, and then I actually finished something, and I was really proud of it, so.
How did you write it? Did you do computer, longhand?
I did computer.
Wow, yeah.
I think I finished it the summer I was 8.
Wow.
Because I didn't have anything else to do.
Sure.
So I just sat at the computer all day and I was just typing, and then as you watched the number of pages grow and the number of words grow, you kind of feel something. You're like, how did I even do this? And
yeah, that's so true. And I mean, it's all yours.
Yeah.
What is the book about? Tell us what the book is about and the characters of Betty and Amber.
Okay, well, the book is about this girl named Betty, obviously, and she's always wanted some sort of adventure, but obviously her life is really boring at the moment. But she gets absorbed in this book series called Amber the Brave and Amber's Big Adventure, and so she kind of idolizes a book character at this point. Now she actually gets the chance to meet her, which is a kind of supernatural twist of events, and then she gets to see that Amber's not really who she thought she would be. Like, she's a lot tougher, a lot meaner, and she's not necessarily getting along with her in the way she thought she would. And the funny thing is that Amber doesn't realize that she's only a character, which brings in a new sense of dimension to the story and so forth. So they kind of clash heads throughout the story, and then, yeah.
And tell us, who are your favorite authors? I mean, who has influenced you?
Right now, it would have to be J.K. Rowling, obviously.
And for those who don't know, who is J.K. Rowling?
Everyone knows that,
Yeah.
but okay, she's the author of Harry Potter. I like Stephen Chbosky's book. I don't know if that's how you say it.
I'm afraid I don't know him.
Okay, well, he wrote The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Oh, okay, no,
Yeah.
yeah.
And John Green, he wrote The Fault in Our Stars. Everyone knows that now.
Have you seen, have you read the book and have you seen the movie version? Yeah, I've heard it's wonderful.
Yeah, you cry.
You know, I think everyone loves a love story.
Yeah.
Everyone loves a tearjerker.
Like a kind of an unconventional love story at the same time, though, because oftentimes love stories are full of these cliches, and he kind of brought something new to the table.
That's great.
So, yeah.
Would you like, if your book would be made into a movie, would you like it to be made into a movie?
I suppose. I never really thought about it because, I don't know, I just feel like it'd be really rushed because the book itself was 120 pages.
Right.
So I'm not quite sure because I never really put any thought into it, and I don't even know who would play the characters or anything like that, because like they're like 9 and 10.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of child actors out there who I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah. You published the book through the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Tell us what the Make-A-Wish Foundation is.
Well, the Make-A-Wish Foundation grants wishes for kids who have diseases that last their whole lives, that are life-threatening and such. And so I actually got in contact with them a few years back, and we had these 2 volunteers named Patty and Cindy, and they were super, super nice. My doctors first said, hey, you can just fill this packet out, we'll get in contact with them, you could just say what you want your wish to be. And it was just kind of this no big deal, because obviously everyone just kind of goes for like a vacation or something of that sort. And it's done, it's over, it was fun, it's good. And then you just can get back to your normal lives. But the thing is, I actually wanted to meet J.K. Rowling at first.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, well, she isn't affiliated with the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Okay.
So then I said, well, I want to publish a book, but it was like a long shot at the time because I was like 9.
Yeah.
So the chances of that happening were really slim. So we didn't have much faith in that, but we sent off the manuscript that I finished when I was 8 with Patty and Cindy, and then they went and found a publisher for us, somebody who accepted the story, and it was really like, wow, how can, that's amazing, you know? And actually, the publisher is Source Books, and they're located right by us. Actually, they have a location. So we actually got to meet everyone that would be helping me with my book, and I know that a lot of authors don't get to do that with their publishers and their editors, so that was really cool.
That's great. And now I know you like Harry Potter. Who are some of your favorite Harry Potter characters?
Okay, I like Hermione Granger the best. I like Ron Weasley too. Most people don't like him, and I don't know why.
And who is he, for those who don't know?
Well, he's this really kind of stubborn. He's like the second character. There's like the 3 people, Harry, Hermione, and Ron. They're the central 3 characters. And then Ron's like the second in command, kind of. And he has like a bunch of brothers and sisters, and he's really poor, so he's always kind of been overshadowed and overlooked. And sometimes he gets jealous of Harry, and he's kind of a hothead. But he's awesome.
That's great. You know, I think, you know, I've never read the J.K. Rowling books, but I think it's just so wonderful, you know, that she has really brought back reading to children and to adults, and, you know, we think, oh, you know, books are dead, but I don't think so. Do you feel that way?
No, and she uses this kind of language that wasn't hard for adults. Adults, like, it wasn't too simple for adults, but it wasn't too hard for kids, so everyone could kind of read it and enjoy it without thinking that it was out of their comfort zone or stretch. And I don't think books are dead at all. I mean, I know that it's like everyone has e-readers now and Nooks and iPads, and they just read on their Kindles and whatever. But I think that the feeling of an actual book, like the way that you can smell the pages, like when you first buy it, and you can just flip through and you can smell it, and I don't know if that makes me sound really weird, but it's true. It makes a huge difference.
If you had, I guess we talked about this, do you have any movie directors you'd like to direct Harry Potter? Or, I'm sorry, your movie.
Like I said, I'm not that into movies where I can name off directors.
But, you know, you never know.
You never know.
Right. You know,
Be cool.
The 75th anniversary of the movie version of Gone with the Wind, and the 75th anniversary of Wizard of Oz. So really proof that, you know, books can be turned into classics.
And they, like, the movies themselves aren't bad either, because most of the times when you hear a book being turned into a movie, you're like, is that really a good thing? Because most of them don't do that well. But
would you like to read a little of your book for people?
I don't really have a section marked, but okay. I need to find something. Okay, so we're at the part where the main character, Betty, she falls asleep after getting this book called Amber's Big Adventure. She got it before anybody else got it, so she was kind of wondering why that is. And so the book turns out to be not even a book at all, and there's a bunch of clocks in it, and it's really weird, and it confuses her, so she kind of puts it to the side and falls asleep. But then she wakes up, and it's the middle of summer. You should know that. So. So the noise was loud and irritating, but also spooky, haunting, and beautiful. Betty listened to it for a while, half asleep, until suddenly her eyes were wide open. School! She was late for school. Her alarm was going off. Betty rushed out of bed. She reached for her dresser drawer, and then glanced out the window above the dresser. The sky was dark, and it was dead silent outside. The only things Betty could see were the streetlights and the faint outlines of the surrounding houses. No rushing cars, no sun. School had ended yesterday. Betty let go of the drawer. It was still night. Suspiciously, Betty eyed her alarm clock. It was 12 o'clock. Why was it going off? Maybe she had forgotten to turn off her alarm, but even so, why was it going off at midnight? The noise started again. It was like an enchanting song. When it played, all Betty wanted to do was listen. The song vibrated in her eardrums. She found herself humming the tune, which was twisting every which way, 1 minute soft and peaceful, the next loud and menacing. Then the song ended abruptly. Betty stared at her alarm clock. Then she noticed a thing glowing next to it. Book. It was open. And glowing. And singing? Weird. So that's kind of like...
So Ravina, thank you so much. Good luck the book. Good luck to your future writing. And, wow, isn't it great that the Make-A-Wish Foundation exists?
It was great.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.